Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today for you all, I'm going to be reviewing The Last of the Firedrakes by Farah Umar. And I got this book through booktube tours, and I have to say, this book is actually pretty entertaining. So, before we get started for real, I'm just going to say that I would like to thank Grace and Farah Umar and Wise Ink Creative Publishing for accepting me for this tour, and I will leave all the links down below for booktube tours. So if you're interested in joining that, feel free to join. And so now, what I want to talk about is characters. So Aurora, the main character, hold up. Sorry, let me just give you the summary first, and then we'll get into the review. My mistake. So this book is about an orphan named Aurora Darlington. She's 16 years old, and she lives a pretty crappy life. Her adoptive parents died, so she's forced to live with her adoptive parents' relatives, who basically means her cousin and her adoptive father's brother's wife. Doesn't matter. That's a little too detailistic. But she's living with relatives of her adoptive family, and they treat her like crap, basically. And then one day, she's just thrust into this magical world, and her whole life changes. And her decisions can determine the fate of all of Avalonia, which is the fantasy world in this book. So, as you can see, this girl has a lot on her plate right now. So, now that I've told you the summary, I'm going to get into characters. So, Aurora. I have to admit, she's a pretty funny character. The things she says are funny, but she acts kind of naive at times, and it's just kind of like, okay, you're 16 years old, and you're just very naive, and I don't see how she can be so naive considering the fact everything she's been through in her life. And so that's a little confusing, but it is what it is. But also, one thing I find funny about Aurora is that she says some cliche things in the book sometimes, and sometimes she just says things that are just kind of like, duh. Like, if someone will tell her something like, oh, you're this and that, she'll be like, really? What? Really? And I'm just like, okay, well, it was just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the stuff like that was funny. And then sometimes she would say cliched things, and then she would acknowledge the fact that what she said was cliche, and I just thought that was so perfect. It was hilarious, and I was just like, oh my gosh, at least she can admit that what she said was cliche. And so I find that very funny. And then this other character, Rafe, who's in this novel, the love interest, if you want, yeah, the love interest, that's what he is. Honestly, to me, he's like Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon, because I swear, every time this girl needs help, or every time she needs something, he always comes to the rescue, and I'm just like, I mean, he just reminded me of Tuxedo Mask, mainly because he actually wears a black mask, and he has a black cape, and I'm just like, that's so Tuxedo Mask. So I just found that funny. That gave me a little laugh. And then all the other side characters, like her real relatives and things like that we meet throughout the story, I thoroughly enjoy them, but I'm not going to say who they are because, you know, spoilers. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. So yes, this was pretty good. I enjoyed the characters. They're really funny. And next, I'm going to talk about the plot. So the plot of this story progresses very fast. This pacing is extremely fast, like just on and on and on. Like, there is no slowness. There's nothing nonstop. There's literally action in almost every chapter, whether it be informational action or physical fighting action, flying across the new fantasy world action. And it has a map, guys. It actually has a map, so that's really cool, and it's very helpful, especially when talking about the kingdoms, because they mention a lot about the different kingdoms and where they are, and it's very helpful. And so, with the plot, I feel like this plot was carried out very well. I have to say that. I have to give her all that. Her plot was carried out extremely well, and there was never a dull moment, which I really enjoyed about this book. I'm glad there was never a dull moment, because I hate fantasy books that are just so slow, and I'm just like, I can't do it. Because that makes me want to put it down. But this book never wants me to put it down. It's like I could keep reading and reading. It's like at the end of every chapter, it's almost as if the story, it's not really a break point. I mean, it kind of is a break point, but it's really not, because it's just like, oh, well, she's about to be here, and she's about to do this, and this is going on, and this just changed, and this just happened. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of the story. And next, I'm going to talk about world building, because guys, this world building and talking about this realm and this world it was gorgeous. When Farah would describe the places in this novel, I was just like, yes, oh my gosh, it was so gorgeous. The mental pictures I came up with were just fantastic, and the cover, guys, goes with the story so well. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I love this cover. This cover is gorgeous. And so just her world building is fantastic. It lives up to the cover, and the actual content of the book is just so great. I love it so much. And so honestly, that's everything I have to say about this book. That's everything I feel you should know about this book. And also, when it comes to reading this book, I feel like you should go into it just with a generic summary, like what I gave, something like that. But don't read too much into it, or don't really listen to those lengthy summaries, because they can have mild but spoilers. They're still spoilers. So because they can have mild spoilers. So I recommend going into this book just knowing a generic synopsis, or maybe nothing at all if that's what you prefer to do. So yes. This is The Last of the Firedrakes by Farah Umar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my channel, feel free to subscribe. And also comment down below if you think this cover is gorgeous, because guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at it. So, and also comment down below if you also received this book through booktube tours. If you're excited to read it, want to read it, or already have read it. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I would love to start a conversation with you guys. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!